back to my channel. I know it's been a hot minute. Do me that favor, hit that like and subscribe button if you love these things. By these things, I mean movie reviews. We are back. I am back. Having just watched Companion. I was looking forward to this one. It was definitely on my radar. The teaser trailer garnered me in very quickly. I was like, okay, I need to watch this movie. This looks very interesting. There are some questions here. And then a major point of the movie was spoiled through marketing through the main trailer that came out like a month and a half ago, something like that. So basically, this is a movie starring Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher. Sophie Thatcher. Sophie Thatcher. She's the main one. She's right there. Anyway, turns out Jack Quaid's character, Josh, is dating a robot. It's a movie about a dude dating a robot. It's not really a movie about a dude dating a robot. No, it's way more intricate than that. No. This movie, in my opinion, is produced by Zach Kreger. I'm going to look up, see who wrote it right now. To put it shortly, spoiler-free thoughts right now, I enjoyed it. I had a great time with it. I didn't not like anything. There was one thing in particular where I'm just kind of scratching my head, but nothing too major. It was really well shot. It's really well written. It's very clever. It has a lot of really clever kills because, yeah, the companion bot here, she goes on kind of a killing spree. No, she doesn't. That's just another misdirect. See, I'm doing a thing here that's very evocative of some of the marketing and even the movie itself. It's very misdirecting, and I actually really appreciated that. But I really like this movie. It's probably maybe going to be in my top 10. Then again, it is still, very early. It's like literally the last weekend of January going into February. So there's still 11 more months of movies to watch. But this was written and directed by Drew Hancock and, of course, produced by Zach Kreger, who did Barbarian. And Sophie Thatcher, there we go. So it stars Sophie Thatcher, Jack Quaid, Lucas Gage, Megan Suri, Harvey Guillen, and Rupert Friend. And the premise of it is Josh and his girlfriend Iris, who's played by Sophie Thatcher, they go to this remote getaway house in the woods type deal, and they, Iris and Josh are a couple, and they are very much in love. At least we're led to believe that. About maybe a third of the way through the movie, you find out, oh yeah, she's a robot, and Josh bought her off the internet. And yeah, so robotic partners, a companion, are a thing in this world. And this one in particular, basically to break it down in simplest terms, and I guess I'm going to go into spoilers here, but Iris, she ends up killing the guy whose house they're staying at. Oh, what is his name? Sergey. So Josh and Iris are going to Sergey's house, and Sergey is dating a girl named Kat. Their friends Lucas and Eli are there, all having a great time. And Lucas Gage plays a character named Patrick. There's a fun twist with his character that I'll get to in a minute. But they're all invited over to this guy's house for a weekend getaway of just relaxing and drinks and yada, yada, yada. Well, Sophie Thatcher's character Iris goes down to the water, and like Sergey comes and tries to put the moves on her, and she inevitably winds up killing him. At this point in the movie, you find out, oh shit, she's a robot, and it's like, then Jack Quaid's character explains this wasn't supposed to happen. They have protocols in place for this, and then the next twist is, oh, he basically jailbroke his robot into being a little bit more aggressive, being a little bit more intelligent, being a little bit more defensive. I liken this to jailbreaking a Nintendo Switch or a PlayStation Portable or basically any handheld device or basically even maybe a smartphone. When you jailbreak something, there are consequences. And that is very pertinent to the plot of this movie because, to put it lightly, ironically and weirdly enough, Sophie Thatcher is the protagonist of this story, and when she kills Sergei for basically being kind of a misogynist and being a gross individual and trying to like force things onto her, like the lead up to this is pure insanity, because it's just like, oh, this is really creepy. But then you find out that she's a robot, and it's like, oh no, you were literally built for this purpose. You were built to be a sex bot. You were built to be a companion. You were built to be, you know, to take orders, basically. And when she realizes this, when she finds out, she's just like, no. It's like artificial intelligence wanting to be human and wanting their own way of life and wanting to actually live. And it's a fucking twisted story. Like, what you find out that Josh does, basically he frames her to kill Sergei to get into this guy's loaded stash of money, because he's just fucking rich. It's him and his friend Kat. Like, spoilers, but yeah, they plot a whole thing to where they were going to use the companion to kill the guy, blame it on, oh, it's a robotic malfunction, she fucked up, da-da-da, I want my money back, I want a new one. Without spoiling the latter half of this movie, I will just say that despite the fact that that element of it gets spoiled, that Sophie Thatcher's character is a robot, there is so much more going on that leads to just a, like, kind of reaction. Like, there are still twists and turns to be had. It's, like I said, it's clever. It's a very clever and well-written movie, and apparently the budget wasn't even that big, and honestly, yeah, this movie was made for $10 million. And it shows, and I don't mean that in a bad way. When you have a tiny budget, but when you have a clever idea, you can do wonders. This movie was wonderful. I don't really want to spoil much of anything else, because I want people to go into this more surprised than I was. But at the same time, like, yeah, I highly recommend it. However, there is one thing that does happen in the final act, in the third act, that I was just kind of like scratching my head at. Because at a certain point, they try and, you know, decommission Iris. And you find out that instead of having, you know, the internal memory stuff up here in the head, no, it's actually within the confines of her stomach. And all of the internal data, all of that is all present here. So, you find this out, and there is something that happens with another character where I was just kind of like, something ain't adding up here, and I'm not going to reveal who, but if you're good at process of elimination, you can pretty much figure it out. But I will just say that I had fun with it. There is one thing that again, just from a technological standpoint, like, again, because I have a background in technology, there was one thing where I was just like, that doesn't quite add up. Kind of reminded me of Terminator, Rise of the Machines, just a little bit, but not exactly the same. Basically, like, overwriting your programming, your prime directive, your, you know, initial coding, whatever, for convenience sake. I guess the best way to put my nitpick, to word my nitpick, is it boils down to a convenience. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But overall, I think Companion, definitely go see this movie. And if you have a date, go see this movie with a date, because this will give both of you something to chew on. It will give you something to talk about over dinner, either before or after the movie. Actually, more so, if you're going to dinner after the movie, this will absolutely give you something to talk about. Because there are themes here of misogyny, there are themes here of toxic masculinity, there are themes here of objectifying women. Like, this is just a really good movie with a lot of deep, layered, I wouldn't say innuendos, but again, a lot of thematic a lot of thematic things that people can relate to on a personal level. Again, like, this film does a really solid job, ultimately, in my opinion, of, like, why objectifying women is fucking terrible and people shouldn't do it, and yet people still get away with it, i.e. man babies who amount to virtually nothing and kind of sit in their apartment and wallow in their own misery. That's what Josh is, played by Jack Quaid. And I will just say, to the performances of this movie, Sophie Thatcher delivered just a fucking phenomenal performance, a wide array of emotion, a wide array of just really good performance there. Jack Quaid is flick of a switch, nice guy to I'm gonna fucking kill you. It's amazing. The supporting cast also does a really solid job. Again, just an all-around really great movie, really well shot, well executed. I highly recommend going to see this. Valentine's Day's in 2 weeks. If you don't feel like going to see Captain America or one movie with Ke Huy Quan, which I'm forgetting the title of it, but that also looks really good too. Like, if you want a movie to go on a date on, like right now, Companion. Go see Companion. Highly recommend. Really good movie. Really solid date movie. Just an excellent romantic thriller film in its own right. It's a little horror, but definitely leans more thriller. But man, this was just really well executed. Really well done. Well written. Just good job. Kudos. I hope this movie thrives and gets more. I hope it has some legs at the box office, but we shall see. If you like this video, do me that favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know how you feel if you've seen the movie. Let me know in the comments if you liked it. Let me know if you thought it was predictable. Let me know if you disliked it. Like, I just want to hear from you. Like, let me know how you felt about Companion. But much love. Take care.